and had to change my pants afterwards. But let's not talk about that. In general, this whole scene is one big reference to Stephen King's The Shining. This is also signaled by the Morse code inscription above this door. These two skibidi toilets used to be Grady sisters, and the impending red tsunami is in one of the scenes of this movie, but I won't show it to you. The POV turns around, and here's what I don't get. Where did that red box go? It was there a second ago! I'm not crazy! Women open the center door and enter another scary room. There's another clock hanging in the distance, and for some reason it shows a different time than the first clock. There's a black and white letter W hanging on the curtains, but maybe it's just a thing that holds the curtains up. Also, there are these painted arrows hanging on the walls that invite us to go further, but it's too early for us to go there yet. And finally, right in front of us, there is another scary toilet, which is devouring the remains of another skibidi toilet. They look like scientists with tasers. One of these already came to us in episode 13. Apparently, things didn't go according to plan for these guys, and they were eliminated by this mutant. There are several other black toilets lying in this room, but they are headless. I have a hunch that this lab is making new scary skibidi from these toilets. When the skibidi creature finishes its meal, it turns right at us, and we can see that it is Momo. She has black liquid flowing from her eyes and mouth. She goes crazy, and jumps first on the ceiling and then right at POV camera woman and tries to impale her to make this horror finally end. But the TV woman turns on her superpower and sets this toilet on fire. Just like I burned this apocalypse folder earlier. Camera woman fires her rifle. But this creature was fast enough to catch the bullet with her claws. It's unthinkable! The horror level reached its peak, and Momo started laughing hysterically. I think this could have been the end of the adventure, but thank goodness the elite clockman's spear comes flying at Skibidi. We see the elite clockman, myself, and Moby approaching us from the direction the clock hands were pointing at. Moby wiggles his finger from side to side as if to show that the girls shouldn't be here. At this point, ominous music begins to play. The POV turns around, and we are faced with a rather familiar setting. We've seen this kind of equipment before in episode 13, with the same devices and a similar list on yellow paper. There's also a box with the number 4 on it. Apparently, it's some samples from the 4th Skibidi lab. Also on the shelf, there's some kind of book with the word lost and the number 3 on it. Unfortunately, I can't make out the third word, but based on the number 3 and the 3 blue squares near the book, it should tell you something. I remember 3 agents who were eliminated at 4th base as they picked up those very documents. Maybe this is about them. There are some pictures on the right wall. If you zoom in on them, you can see that they're skibidi toilets, and we've seen some of them before. The one in the center is a Momo that was just gotten rid of. This is the monster that was in the previous episode. Just below that, there is a photo of the Grady twins who were playing with the agent dolls a minute earlier. In the left, there hangs a picture of the skibidi banshee from episode 14 that almost destroyed Titan Speakerman. And finally, some weird toilet with an all-black head with some other color underneath. Perhaps it's a jetpack that he uses to fly around. It looks like those skibidi helicopters in black masks, but I don't think it's one of them because these pictures contain only the scariest of the skibidi. It looks like we haven't seen this monster yet, and it's quite likely that he'll show up in the next episode. And while I was showing you all this, TV woman sat down in a chair and started reading that confidential folder. Well, I was ready to take it away from her, although the elite decided that we could let her see what was in there. Her screen turned green and she started scanning the information and sent the file to the Alliance base. And you know what? I'll give you my guess as to what's going on here. Remember that skibidi with the white insides and the white eyes? And that inhumanly strong mutant on the bridge who was able to survive the explosion right next to him, even though he was missing body parts? No living creature could survive that and stay on its feet. And all the skibidi toilets with glowing eyes aren't robots, they're something else. And look at all these new skibidi monsters that are bleeding some weird black blood. And I think the folder should actually be called like this. And now the Alliance has a new threat. Maybe an even scarier one than the usual skibidi toilets. So what about me and Elite and Moby? I think this is all a topic for another video where we'll talk about it more. And be sure to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out our new interesting videos. And that was me, Isa Toilet. See ya!